Dallas has just been on a tear. I believe we can attribute that to Jason Robertson. Also, Jake Ottinger, who's really stepped in.
Yeah, so we can compare a rookie QB to a toddler. Hayward's absence for this game will be significant, and I wouldn't be surprised if this game turns into a blowout as of late.
The Golden Knights just can't pull it. I really think the Avalanche are determined this year.
They made so many moves and grabbed so many guys that they have to win a championship or at least make the finals. They were on our championship and bust.
The same self, the only year he won an MVP was the year he cheated, which really should put something against that MVP. But
yeah, and as a Cowboys fan, I have learned how dangerously good Aaron Rodgers has been with he can just thread a pass.
Hello, I am Ruby Ackerman, and you are listening to Outsider's Opinion with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NFL Opinions of the Week. And when you look at the Seattle Seahawks, Austin, it's pretty hard to just see how good they look.
Yeah, as it stands, they're the top seed in the NFC. Now, that's before Monday Night Football, obviously, so they could fall back to the 2 seed or potentially, the furthest they could fall to 2 seed. But they've been extremely impressive, and the way their offense has looked has been remarkable. And I've been thoroughly impressed by Sam Darnold and his defense. And do you think they're legit? Are they a legit NFC contender?
I think they are a legit NFC contender because kind of their defense. Their defense quickly scored in their game, and the offense is amazing. My concern about them is Sam Darnold has looked great this year. He looked great last year. The problem is that after a great season with the Vikings in the playoffs, he did not play well. He had a couple interceptions. That could have been part of the offensive line, but that is something that I want to see how well he plays in the playoffs. But being a top team in the NFC during the regular season, that is a bona fide fact to me for the Seahawks.
Yeah. He only had one interception against the Rams, I'm pretty sure, but the offense was not clicking. And I think he had a fumble as well. So I think he had one interception and one fumble. But the offense, again, with some of the injuries to the O-line, was up. Quick back is a great. I would use a head coach in short order. And Sam Darnold has played JSN has been remarkable to start this season. I've been thoroughly impressed by his ability to get open and also just make great catches. I mean, he's averaging a little bit over 108 yards per game, I'm pretty sure. And then they have a running back duo of K9 and Zach Charbonnet. While they haven't been the best rushing team, they have set up their passing by running the ball. So I've been pretty impressed with how this team has looked this far this season. And I definitely think they're legit. I think they have they traded for Rashid Shaheed. And while Torrey Horton missed this past game, they have 4 really good wide receivers because Cooper Kupp played well. So you have JSN, Cooper Kupp, Torrey Horton, and Rashid Shaheed in any order. Or JSN probably is one, but the other 3 guys, you can really put it in any order. Their tight ends have played well. Elijah Arroyo has played decent, but A.J. Barnes played very well. And then you also have, like I said, Sam Darnold, who keeps slinging it around, and their defense has made plenty of plays. I mean, their defense so far this season, before this game, was 5th in points against. I'm pretty sure to stay around there after this game. And 7-2 is something to snuff at. And the rest of their schedule isn't extremely difficult. They play the Cardinals today, as we're recording. They won that game. Then they play the Rams, who are good, and that will be a tough matchup, especially because it's in LA. Then they play the Titans, who aren't that great. They play Minnesota, who's decent. The Falcons, who are decent. The Colts, who are really good. The Rams at home. Then they play the Panthers and the 49ers. So their schedule isn't extremely difficult. It's kind of mediocre. It's definitely hard to think about before the Patriots. The Patriots have a pretty schedule. This schedule was definitely harder than that. But it's not the most difficult schedule in the world. And I think they're 100% going to be a playoff team. It's just whether or not they're getting a bye as a 1 seed or if they're going to play a wild card weekend. And then obviously, like you said, with Sam Darnold, how does he perform in the playoff matchup?
Yeah, and you look at it, this team looks really good defensively, and especially with Vance McDonald, the head coach. He has really put a lot on this defense. His defense was really good with the Ravens when he was their defensive coordinator. And now the offense seems rolling after really an offseason of change. They moved on from Geno Smith. They brought in Sam Darnold. They also moved on from DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. And to me, what I really like is what Jackson Smith provides. It really provides a solid weapon. You also have Cooper Kupp. And then I'm very interested to see what Shaheed does, because he does reunite with Clint Kubiak, who has been really good this year. And I want to see the offense keeps performing well. To me, they need to keep up this consistency. I'm interested to see how well they perform against the Rams. But yeah, I think right now they are a top team in the NFC, and I'm very curious if they can get home field advantage. It really is between them and the Eagles.
Yeah. I mean, the Packers are up there. We'll see what happens on the night between the Eagles and Packers. The Seahawks offense has been incredible, especially because this is their first year with this offensive coordinator. They lost Geno Smith. And when people signed Sam Darnold, yeah, we thought he'd be good, but we thought it was – I think more people thought it was kind of a fluke last season than it was like 100% this is who Sam Darnold is. But this year has kind of proven the opposite, that this is who we should expect from him for the rest of his time as a starter. And I think that what's pretty impressive about their defense is they deal with a lot of injuries. They've made signings. I mean, Dexter Lawrence had 2 touchdowns today, and that's – I don't know how many times you expect one guy to score twice. The way they've been able to turn the ball over, they forced a ton of turnovers this year. And like I said, they allow not that many points. They've only, before this game, they only allowed 18.8 points per game, which, again, if you allow under 20 points per game, you're putting your offense in a great spot to get you as many victories as possible.
Yes, exactly. And this offense, just with more opportunities, continues to play well. And yeah, it was kind of viewed as a fluke. I viewed Darnold as sort of a bridge QB. It was like, okay, maybe they'll draft someone. But no, he really has fit the role of a starting quarterback and a top starting quarterback this year for the Seahawks. And elevated to the offense that he hadn't really seen in a while, combined with this defense. It always seemed like it was one or the other with the Seahawks, but they look to be playing well on both sides of the ball, and that is always a recipe for a great team.
Yeah, that's 100% true, and I expect this team to be a contender this year in the NFC. I've said this before many times. It doesn't seem to be a clear, cut number one team in the league right now, so there's a lot of open and a lot of new QBs on new teams that are making great impacts between Daniel Jones, Aaron Rodgers, Sam Darnold. But I'm excited for how this team finishes out the year. I don't expect Seattle to rebuild, or even whatever you want to call it, this quickly. I mean, they made the playoffs with Geno, and they lost Pete Carroll, and last year they were kind of mediocre with Geno in his third season with the team. So I don't know if this is what people thought that this team was going to be this year. I certainly did not expect them to be this good, but I've been pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised as well. And this really is a year where you need to get into the playoffs and then just see what happens and kind of be ready when the playoffs start. That's going to be a huge part of what team wins the Super Bowl this year.
Sure. And I think because Sam Darnold had the experience from last year, and that was just last year, I think that'll help him this year with the Seahawks. I think that gave him a peek into what he should expect from the playoffs, and especially as a road team, because even though they were 14-3 in the regular season, they had to go on the road.
Yeah, yep, that is a great point. And that was the first time he really was in the playoffs as a starting quarterback. So, yeah, it could be another opportunity to show how much he has grown in just these short 2 seasons.
Yeah, that's 100% true.
All right, let us know your thoughts in the comments. We appreciate you listening to Outsiders Opinions.